welcome to Network. My name is Eloise Scoble, standing in for Siphumelele Zondi. I have a technology and social media news. If you want to be part of this tech conversation, you must hashtag SABC Network. You can also find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Here's what we have coming up in the program. We attend the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers Conference. A report on Africa's domain name system was released at this meeting. Artificial intelligence is no longer something you now only see in movies. Our discussion looks at how companies should go about digitizing processes. For that, we have Phil Hoare from Connection Telecom. Hello, Phil. Is digitizing the future?
Hi, Eloise. That is without saying.
More information about that later, but let's start with our social media and technology news. The Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers met in Johannesburg recently. It was the third time the body was meeting in South Africa in the 59 meetings it has held. At the discussions, the body released a first ever report on Africa domain name systems. Siphumelele Zondi went to the conference.
When a lot of us go on our mobile phones or other devices to browse the internet, we rarely think about the challenges that goes into assigning domain names. Those conversations are happening right here at the ICANN Policy Forum. ICANN is an abbreviation for the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. For the first time, ICANN has done a study on Africa's domain name systems. One of their findings is that while South Africa's .co.za is popular, country domains from the rest of the continent don't do so well as many prefer .com.
For most of us who want to create an identity online, we're looking for a reseller who can actually package a full bundle for us. And that involves some of the maturity of the market. Local payment options are another very important consideration. If you've got a credit card in Africa, then it's really easy registering a .com because you just go onto the web and you put your credit card details in. Sometimes we make it difficult for our own people to register because of really cumbersome payment issues because of payment systems in country.
In Africa, the challenge is that we browse the internet differently from the rest of the world. And the challenge for the rest of the world is to understand Africa's uniqueness in how and where people log on.
African citizens use the internet completely differently. We use, for many of us, our fast access to the internet is through our mobile phones. Our fast access to banking is also through mobile phones. So I think that is one thing perhaps we may need to ensure that capacity development goes both ways, and creating an awareness and building that narrative of how the African continent has a unique way.
But the request is that as laws, policies and discussions happen, Africans must be flexible and realize that this might change.
We admitted mobile, but soon it will be wearables. And what would we do then if we are just stuck with mobile? And remember, mobiles are not directly programmable. So if you get stuck with just mobile, you may also be creating a divide. These are all side effects, and we should be open up to using everything.
The challenge is also to close the internet divide spoken about here and give access to everyone. The next ICANN conference is taking place in Abu Dhabi in October.
Artificial intelligence is no longer something you only see in movies. Machines are now making our lives a lot easier in a lot of ways. Google Translate even uses this method to translate to Zulu and Swahili, but teaching machines to make life easy is not an easy process.
A lot of us would play with machines, expect a gadget to know a song or tell us what we don't know. We never think about the programming that must have taken place for it to know what it knows. But machine learning isn't an easy thing.
A lot of the problems of machine learning nowadays have to do with getting the right data set together to learn from. And then the other big challenge is to make the right neural model. So the right sort of shape of brain to learn the patterns that we want to learn. If you want to be able to solve the kinds of problems that you and I solve every day, of being able to recognize what's in an image, or being able to say something in your own language that sounds natural, those kinds of things that computers historically have just not been very good at doing, that's what these new technologies are good at.
Google is constantly working on methods that make machines smarter and therefore make life easier for us humans. You can tell it what you need and it would find it for you.
So for a long time we've been helping people find the answers they need as quickly as possible, and now we're really doing that on your phone, and that's really with the Google Assistant. So a bit like speaking to a best mate who's got all the answers, you throw that question to your phone using voice and we deliver you the answer as quickly as we can.
Because of the intricate processes, codes and methods that have to be used for machines to do what they do, they're still slower and not quite as smart as humans yet. But imagine life without some of the machines that take care of certain little bits for us.
Techpreneurs brought their best game on at the Seed Stars Tech Startup Competition. Producer Lebu Sajake was there to witness some of the innovative ideas brought to the table.
And most vulnerable socioeconomic groups in the world.
This is one of the 10 startup entrepreneurs that came out fully equipped to impress judges at the Seed Star Tech Startup International Competition. Held at the Standard Bank Auditorium in Rosebank, Johannesburg, this contest allows young tech startups a platform to pitch their businesses to potential investors.
We have teams going to different regions in Africa, in LATAM, in Eastern Europe, and all of these regions where we try to go to each country, 80 total, but we try to scout for the best technical startups that are going and looking for the next push to really reach more people and scale their solution.
Some of the young businessmen and women participants of the South African leg of the competition are Sian Tutela of InvoiceWorks and Leah Mulatsedi of online legal assistance services Lenoma Legal.
We are an inventory financing platform that gives credit lines to small retailers, as in spaza shops, your small salons, your small corner bakery shop. That's our market.
I'm from Lenoma Legal. It's a legal tech company that tries to solve the issue of expensive attorneys. So it's an online platform where if you're a client, you just need legal services, you tap onto it, and then you get access to legal documents and attorneys who are on that platform.
The winners of the South African finals of Seed Star will move on to the African region leg of the competition, and if successful there, they will then proceed to the global level in Switzerland for the ultimate prize of $500,000.
There are people who have an agenda to overthrow the government of the African National Congress.
Factionalism has been institutionalized.
Our movement is in trouble.
The 2019 elections start from now.
Anything that is wanted urgently by the enemy should be dangerous.
It's not about us. Review the Constitution.
Address the issue of land restitution without compensation.
The assumption that you can just change Section 25 and everything else falls into place is mistaken.
White monopoly capital, it's not anywhere in the documents of the movement.
We want radical economic transformation.
We should add a position of second deputy president and 2 additional DSGs.
We need a systematic movement towards younger leadership.
We'll put faces to the voices and ask, what would Owar Tambo say? SABC News, live from the ANC Policy Conference.
Welcome back. Often we hear a lot of companies saying they are digitizing, but this work means different things to different people. We are asking what digitizing actually means for most companies and what it should actually be. Joining for that discussion is Phil Horry, who is the Sales Director for Connection Telecom. Hello, Phil, and thank you for being part of today's discussion.
Hi, Eloise. Thank you very much for having me. So when we talk about digitization, I think we need to describe or define what the word means. So digitization, in my opinion, is the convergence of voice, chat, and video in one channel.
So do you think a lot of companies understand what it actually is?
I think due to industry trends, biggest companies right now like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, a lot of people do understand what digitization means to their business model going forward.
Do you think providing the basics like internet access or computers, does that equate to digitizing?
Well, it's the prerequisite. So you have to have an enabler, or what I term an enabler. And the best way of actually doing that or enabling your network is to have a fiber connection.
And how important to a company's business model is it to digitize?
It's extremely important. I mean, we know that in online retail, it's totally changed the way the business operates. We know that Uber is one of the big businesses out there revolutionizing digitization as we speak. The logistics field in total is going to be totally different to what we perceive it today. So, you know, there's a lot of drones that have been enabled. And these drones are going to literally deliver packages to your door.
Okay, so often we hear our digitizing process can be a headache. And how can companies go about these digitization processes to make it a little easier for them?
So I think historically we used to have copper access. This was the enabler I was talking about with regards to fiber. Now, copper access 10 years ago was fairly expensive. Now you can get double the bandwidth for much less. So this is the first thing you would require.
And can an organization avoid digitizing in 2017?
No. You know, if you have a look at brands 20 years ago, let's take the big brands like Coca-Cola, General Electric, or even Royal Dutch Shell. It was all about the asset. 2017, it's a totally different landscape. I mean, everyone is going digitization. Every CEO is looking at digitization right now as we speak. And if you are not getting involved in digitization, you're not an early adopter, or you're not an adopter. And failing to be an adopter can have repercussions.
Okay, now does this process differ from organization to organization, or is it like one flat, broad thing?
No, it's an integration. It's CRMs, it's open APIs, it's literally systems talking to systems to simplify. So a customer, for example, might use our platform, and that platform will be able to integrate with their current CRM. It also benefits. What's key here is the customer experience. This is what it's all about. It's about the data analytics that you require and use that. For example, we currently have a customer that's in the big financial, well, there's a big player in the financial sector market. And if you can just picture this, a call center agent, screen pops up, 5 different screens, okay? So as opposed to her on the telephone or looking at one screen. All right. Now, with that screen, she can see if she needs to divert that to sales. She can see if she needs to divert it to finance, or she can see if she needs to divert it to operations. She's also got the option of chatting via chat, video, or voice. I mean, this is powerful stuff.
Now, is this a costly exercise to do to go digitizing?
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean, small companies are not exempt from cloud computing. It offers a general, my experience, what I've seen in the industry, it's definitely, you're looking at close to a 40% saving. I mean, forget about the optimization, the productivity, you know, all that sort of stuff. Your return on investment is so quick, it shouldn't be up for debate. But the customer experience is key. That is absolutely key, and this is what it's about. 85% of the internet right now is all data.
And then just tell me, what are the ramifications of a company not digitizing in today's day and age?
Well, simple. You fall behind. You really will fall behind. I mean, 34% of contact centers right now in the UK are on cloud technologies. All right? 57% are migrating in the next 3 years. So what happens to the others? I mean, are they retiring?
Wow, geez, thank you so much, Phil.
Okay.
We caught up with news anchor Peter Ndoro, and he told us what his favorite piece of technology is.
So the one piece of technology that's really changed my life is the iCloud. I work a lot with my iMac, my iPad, my iPhone, and my MacBook. And so saving things on iCloud means that I can access all of my information on any one of those devices anywhere as I travel. And that's completely changed my life. So iCloud, that's the thing, man. That's the technology.
We're shooting a campaign. We're telling genuine stories from real people that have been affected by the SABC. It's also interesting to get the backstory in terms of their dreams to be on screen and eventually getting the pleasure to do that. And understanding that they're communicating on a platform that speaks to millions of people. And it speaks to how the SABC can fulfill its mandate.
The SABC represents the opportunity for so many young South Africans, for old South Africans, to be able to look at the world that they may not experience any other way.
People should continue to pay their TV license because it allows the SABC to bring quality programming.
The TV license is really part of the lifeblood of the channel and the corporation.
When you're listening to your favorite jams, you're listening to your favorite radio DJ, you must know that you made it possible by paying your TV license.
It's such a holistic process that goes into TV licenses. It's not only one part where we say South Africans have to pay for TV licenses. You pay a TV license because you get so much value out of it, and that's the content that you get every single day on the SABC platforms.
I have been in the film industry now for 51 years. I am quite satisfied with the evolution of television now, that you have got a lot of actors and you have got a lot of crew members, which will also play part of paying our licenses, because I think it's proper.
Welcome back to Network. South Africa's Department of Education website was hacked on Wednesday night, and the tech giant company Google has been slapped with a fine of 2.42 billion euros for distorting internet search results. These are some of the tech news that made headlines this week.
South Africa's Department of Basic Education's website was hacked on Wednesday night by a group called Team System DZ. The group replaced the site's homepage with a political message and images of dead children and other heart-wrenching content. The department has since issued a statement saying that they have taken immediate steps to have the images removed from the website and are investigating the cyber attack. Now heading over to Israel. The country's Mossad intelligence agency has set up an investment fund to help with the development of new cloak and dagger know-how. During the launching of the fund, the agency released the top-notch technology to identify suspects.
Now more and more, future reality is being written by startups and mostly by Israeli startups. Today we guarantee that in the future too, the Mossad will maintain its technological superiority for the security of the citizens of Israel.
Libertad said it would be willing to give grants of up to 2 million shekels per project in exchange for non-exclusive rights to the technology. Now heading over to Belgium. Google was slapped with a 2.42 billion euro punishment on Tuesday for distorting internet search results in favor of its own shopping channel. That's $2.7 billion US.
It has denied other companies the chance to compete on the merits and to innovate. And most importantly, it has denied European consumers the benefits of competition, genuine choice and innovation.
The penalty imposed by the European Commission has given the tech giant 90 days to end the anti-competitive practice.
According to the 2015 and 2016 World Economic Forum Global Competitiveness Index, South Africa is ranked last out of 140 countries. Now, a 26-year-old actuarial analyst, Ati Gwetlu, hopes to reverse the situation with a new maths app that aims to enable learners, educators and ordinary people to better understand the subject. Sinsizwe Mani tells us more.
Maths anxiety is a real and a serious problem for many learners in South Africa. It's a daunting subject that often leaves them with feelings of apprehension and fear. But now, with mathematics being regarded as a priority subject all over the world, is there a case of improvement for South Africa when it comes to maths? Ati Gwetlu from the Eastern Cape seems to think so.
Mathematics itself is a language, all right? So when you speak about the x's and the y's and the plus and the minuses, that is the language. That is the mathematical language. Like calculus is a language, algebra is its own language, geometry is its language. But it's the explanation then of explaining such concepts maybe in a language that learners will understand.
Ati has since developed a mathematics application software that aims to help learners, educators and ordinary people visualize and to better understand maths using their phones, tablets and personal computers.
Sigma X basically is, you can download it if you're in any grade from pretty much like from grade 6 all the way to matric, and you just download it once, and what it does is that it gives you the practical part about mathematics. So we've used graphics and we've used animations, which means that you can see a little bit of cartoons in the math. You can, so it's pretty much very visual. So to help learners understand it.
The app, which will officially be launched in July, does however require one to have data all the time to be fully operational.
We asked you if you think your devices are secure from hackers. 9% of you said yes, 55% said no, and 36% asked how they would even know if it's secure or not. That's all we have for you today. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. And Sipho Zendi will be back next week. We leave you with visuals from Chinese artist Ai Weiwei's art installation made of 1.2 million plastic Lego bricks featuring portraits of 176 historical individuals from around the world. From me and the rest of the network team, it's goodbye.